Hello, everyone. We are the DREADIES. We're playing DreadLore. It's a new TTRPG that rewards immersive gameplay. Tonight's game is Into Space. In DreadLore, characters use their traits to gain a bit of control over the fiction. If a task is opposed, they can throw down the dice, but we try to stay away from that as much and stick on traits.
You gotta stick on it.
Yep, stay with our traits.
Stick
our cast tonight is Bill as the Arbiter, me, I'm Drizzle, Andrea, Hulker, Jazzi, Max, and Ken. We'd like to thank the music, all lowercase letters, and Mr. Interrupt.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks to our Patreon people, Nostalgic, Natalia Cline, Tim Roberts, and Daniel Hulker. If you want to join our Patreon and help us keep this going, go to patreon.com/DreadLore.
You better.
Thanks to Couchfire Media for all the pretty things you see and bringing us to you every week. Thanks to Terrible Productions for whatever it is they do.
What? Who are they?
Know. And let's go over to Hulker for whoever our sponsor is tonight.
Yeah, who's our sponsor, Hulker? Oh, good.
Tonight's sponsor is a band out of Winesburg, Ohio called the Crusted Butts.
Nice.
They formed last week after they acquired some musical instruments. They haven't paid us yet, but they told me that they'll pay us at the beginning of the month when like a check clears. So I just took them at their word. So be on the lookout for the Crusted Butts playing in a basement near Winesburg, Ohio.
Do they have a website?
Actually, I don't really know what they have because they were too lazy to send me anything to actually say about them. So other than what they like told me over the phone, I think they were kind of high when they were telling me this stuff. So they didn't really tell me anything else. I just kind of left it at that. It was good enough. Whatever.
Oh,
we're getting paid. They'll pay us next month.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Once it comes through, right?
I think we're going to have to do a special live show from Winesburg, Ohio, because we get a lot of sponsors from there.
A lot of them, yeah.
Oh, that's true. Ohio loves us. What is with Ohio?
No, Winesburg, Ohio.
Oh, Winesburg, Ohio.
Yeah.
But it's like them in Canada.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nothing. There's an incredible amount of silence on this stream right now.
Yay, Canada.
Yay, Canada. We've got Mandalorians. We have Jazzi and Max have 1,000 dogs.
Just out of curiosity, where in Canada?
Funnily enough, there was a Deadpool commercial on just a second ago, at least on mine, and it was like, oh, yeah, he's Canadian. So there you go. Yeah. We even get sponsored by Canada on the advertisements.
But if you could get sponsored by Canada, would you want to?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Canada's great.
I don't know. I don't know if Canadian dollars can be like.
I'll take those loonies.
You want a toonie? Okay. Hi, everyone. Thanks for jumping on DreadLore, where we talk about a bunch of nonsense, and we also play this game. So the current game is called Into Space.
Into
Space, indeed. We're going to do a brief recap, and then we're going to go into the game. So if you missed some episodes, don't do that anymore. You can go to our YouTube and find out all the good stuff. Here we go. Last, we left our group of intrepid, fascist space marines. Yeah, so Dolby Newman. Oh wait, you guys don't know. No one knows who you all are. Everybody say who you are and what your character name is. We'll start with, how about Dolby Newman?
Dolby is like Snake Eyes. He's a captain in the Soul Prime Marine.
Wait, hold on. He's like Snake Eyes. How is he like Snake Eyes?
Well, I mean, he wears a suit, but he talks. So I guess he's unlike Snake Eyes in that sense. So he's like a talking Snake Eyes in space.
He's not a ninja at all.
He's not a ninja, but he has the laser sword, and there might be some differences, but
there's a few differences.
And you know, he's indoctrinated into the system. He believes in the SSA, and he's newly inspired by his new command of captain.
Snake Eyes, is he blind? Is Snake Eyes blind?
No,
As
I
well
think
as
he's
deaf?
mute.
I know he's mute. When I was a kid, I always thought he had like one of those, you know, Jedi abilities. He could like sense stuff.
Right. Or
Okay.
he's like the black you made, like when you played Legos as a kid. He was like the character that you made, gave him the
Snake
black
Eyes rules.
visor and the little black space
Yeah, he's
helmet.
got a sword and an Uzi. He's awesome. Yeah.
Little space
right.
shield.
Drizzle.
I am now Corporal Skip Trace.
Hey.
I'm a lifer in the military who just tries to keep his crew alive.
Yep. His crew. It's no one else's crew. It's his crew.
Mm-mm.
Hey, Katrina.
Yeah, I play Katrina Thomas, who is a Martian princess turned mercenary. And, you know, she's now been conscripted, at least for the time being, into this group of misfits. And she is now basically getting ready to go against them. I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll find out. We'll
Yeah,
learn
we will
things
see what
tonight.
happens. Hulker.
Yes, my name is Daniel, and I play Corporal Burgess, a soldier who recently got promoted from private, and a soldier with some weapons that have done
Such as?
significant amounts of damage to structures and people around him.
Such as?
Such
Does he
as
use like a little Walter PPK or something, or?
no, he's got all that stuff he found on the ship last session.
I know what he has, Hulker. I want you to say it.
He has some small arms,
It's
and
the
pistols.
baby arms.
Yeah, 2 thumper sticks, a giant flame cannon, and I think he's got a sword. I'm not sure.
Yeah, he's got a laser sword too. Jeez. How about Jazzi?
Oh, hey there, oh there. I am Cherokee Sioux, like the people. I am a primary with a past. I am running from. I joined up with Dolby a long time ago. A recent field promotion made me a lieutenant. Super excited about that. You know, I'm 6'10". I got hair about down to my ankles. A braid with a rock in the bottom of it to keep it down.
Does it just swing around?
Yep, just swings around, going crazy.
Swings you on the battlefield. Max.
Watch out, y'all can't control my hair.
Who are you playing, Max?
Sergeant Silas. I am a career soldier. I'm a sniper, and also a hacker. And my main mission is to keep my men alive because I have a pathological obsession with that.
Yep. With you as well in your team are several NPCs, but we're not going to go through them right now. We're just going to cut to the chase. Last game, Captain Grimm. Now, this is a Prime Naval Brigade, so a captain is like an 06. Dolby is also a captain. He is in the PMC. He's a Marine captain, so he's an 03. So Captain Grimm is far above all of them. He would be like a colonel of some sort. At any rate, we've got a little document if anybody cares to know. You can also look up the Marine ranks and whatever. Captain Grimm drops a bunch of lore, some secrets on Dolby about what their original mission was. Something having to do with some RIs, some robotic intelligences. These are differentiated from AI, which are anathema, meaning they're no good. Nobody wants the AI. In fact, your government, the SSA, does not even believe in them. And if you believe in them,
artificial persona non grata.
That's right. That's right. Then all is bad. So supposedly these RI, okay, so robotic intelligences, were given some sort of Special Operation Corps clearance, so SOC clearance. And they were made operatives and were on some sort of mission. And they gave Captain Grimm some intel. What was the intel? We'll get to that later. But it was some big stuff. You can check out YouTube to find out all that good stuff. More recap. You guys were in pairs and you made your way through various means to where Dolby and Burgess and Captain Grimm are. So you're all in this bunker underneath or near to the capital, which is the center of Novus Terra, of the colony. So you're just underneath the Capitol building, I believe, which is still on fire. The front part of it is still smoldering, at least. maybe not literally burning, but it's on fire. That's above you. Ways. Thank you, Burgess. You're in this rotund room, and there's a platform, a launch platform, and sort of a Cadillac version, like a thugged out small or lightweight freighter. It's got, it's completely black tinted windows, gold trim. There's some guns and whatnot on it, but it's not at all military grade. Looks rather fast. And as you all enter, you see Dolby. Of course, he has actually his insignia. Did Grimm actually give you insignia? He'll have given you a little insignia thing. So Dolby, you've got the mark of captain on you. And yeah, you're all in this scene. Last thing that happened, Dolby gave most of you, actually all of you, not a raise, a promotion. Field promotions, so you have a little bit more responsibility. And he conscripted Katrina Telmus into the Marines. Kind of again, she had already been conscripted into the Marines when they rescued her. But she's been officially again conscripted and been given the rank of a private first class, which means she's active duty. Dolby warns you that Captain Grimm is now in charge of this mission. You're on Novus Terra. You're trying to do all the things we're trying to do. You've got the clad ship outside, which you guys are afraid that they're, AI sympathizers and or perhaps rogue RI themselves. You've got the Novus Terran paramilitary that their militia that is still technically fighting you, although they're not very well informed. So when you guys encountered them, specifically Silas and Skip Trace, you were able to deceive them into not realizing who you were. So you still have that militia. And there's also La Resistance, which is not necessarily against you, but they're not for you. These are the Novus Terrans, the colonists who are at civil war with the people that are in charge. And they're unaware that Confucius, their leader, is dead. So it's a big mess, right? La Resistance wants to take over Novos Terra, and they don't want the SSA a part of it. You've also got the paramilitary that are Confucius's force, and they're unaware that Confucius is dead, and they're against you all. You've also got the other PMC and PNB, so Marines and soldiers, who, while they're on your side, they're not really sure if they can trust you. And so that's sort of the conundrum that you're in. Grimm was their captain, but they threw him in prison for 5 years and said he was crazy. And now they're sort of running around in their cruiser, blowing shit up in the atmosphere. They shot down your ship, the Cool Mint. It is no more. How are you going to get this all straightened out and complete your mission? Do you even know what your mission is as we drop into the action? Like a meteorite. Like a Master Chief. The last words after Dolby had this marvelous speech to you all and told Katrina Thomas, hey, listen, get your act together. You're now private first class. You're going to get paid. You're going to be in the military. We're all going to get through this. She boldly states, nah, that ain't me. I refuse. As we drop into the montage, action is on all of you. Oh, real quick montage. In the montage, there is no bidding. Now, technically, you can bid to drop out of the montage and go to the dread. But that would defeat the purpose of starting the game in the montage. Okay? So, I'm suspending the dread for right now. You got to stay in the montage, at least until we get through this part. Which is what Dolby, or I should say Ken, wanted to do at the beginning. Ken, can you remind us what that was?
Oh, I'd like to start off in Dolby shoes, not Ken shoes.
Yeah.
All right. As you all know, a lot has happened, and we split up. I think Skip, Silas, you guys had eyes on the Cool Mint. I just need some updates on what's going on. So Burgess, let's start with you. Do you have any information for me concerning what has happened? Tell us about this ship. Tell us what we have on it. Tell us what you found out about the ship that we're on.
Well, I found some stuff that would be really useful to me, and I'm armed with it, and I almost used it, but you all asked me nicely, so I didn't. There's a locker over there where I stored some of the remaining weapons, and I just pointed out. And there's I don't know where the food or water is.
Okay, well, we'll figure that one out. Skip, Silas, what do you have to report on the Cool Mint? Clearly, you've rescued Engineering and Vesper. What is their status, and how is the status of the Cool Mint?
The Cool Mint is down. Best I could tell, Alfred has been destroyed. Josh is dead. Archangel and Alice are MIA. We it's right near. It's down near real close to a building, which leads to these tunnels that we made over here. So we could easily get close to it through the tunnels down here.
Sure. But any salvage operation is going to take time. It's grounded for the time being is basically.
Yes, there's a giant hole through the cockpit windshield.
Do you have any additional information to add to that, Silas?
Oh no, Skip covered it.
Okay. Cherokee, I need you to manage the four burning sensations for the time being, and you'll report to me. So I'm putting you in charge of Silas, who will report to you directly. Silas, you will need to take any information from Burgess and Skip, as well as Burgess and Skip. I'll need you to have eyes on Katrina at all times and make sure that she is fulfilling the duties of her newly found station, and to manage that. Please see that the chain of command is strictly followed. So Cherokee, you are now in command of the four burning sensations, while I will work with Astrict and Grim to facilitate the next stages of this interaction that we're going to go through. Are there any questions? Does anybody have anything they want to add?
Yeah, I'll add something. I'm not doing
Okay.
jack for you.
Well, that is fine. I'm going to leave you in the capable hands of Lieutenant. So I am going to step off and assist Grim. I would like you to to pilot this ship, but I'm gonna again allow your superior officers to deal with you as you shall be dealt. So you might take up any issues with them. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to create a fifth burning sensation, which is my boot up your ass. So listen, I'm just kidding, honestly. But look, Katrina, for real though, it's one of those things, like, we're backed into a corner now. It's either you're a prisoner or you're a crew member. Your choice. You're talented, and we would need a really good pilot to pilot this plane. If you want to get your hands on some cool new tech, go do it. If not, then I can hand you some cuffs, and we can handle you accordingly.
Or the third option, I sabotage your entire deal right now, and I just wait till my people
all
get
right.
here.
Skip, Burgess, cuff her.
I will go to cover.
Same here. Throw down, I guess.
It's
We're not
montage.
throwing down yet.
Do you have to throw down?
I think the conversation's over. Katrina made her point clear. She doesn't want to be a part of the crew, so she wants to be a prisoner.
I'm not asking about the why. I'm saying, Katrina, are you resisting this?
Not right now.
Yeah. So you don't need to bid anything. So you guys describe what happens. All of you. Whoever's involved. And if you're not involved, what are you doing while this happens?
Standing there like I am right now. Watching Skip and Burgess handle the problem.
I'll just do we have cuffs on our uniforms?
I thought we did. That's why I said it that way.
Okay.
I could be wrong,
These
but I can throw a pip at it.
See, Jazzi know what's up. He's like, yeah, we do. Definitely. We have them.
All right. So I will.
Shut up, Skip.
So you'll see me just walk up, and I'll pull out my cuffs, and I'll shrug, and I'll take her hands and put them behind her back and cuff them.
Sweet. All right. So sit her down.
Max, what are you doing? Max, what are you doing while this is happening?
Yeah, I'm cleaning my rifle while it's happening. I'm not involved.
And Burgess?
I'm standing
What are you
next
doing?
Huh?
Go on.
I'm standing next to Skip Trace.
Okay. Go ahead. All of you.
Okay. So let's sit her down. Put her buckle her in, what the fuck ever. Let's get her locked in place before we do what we need to do. Katrina, you need water, you need food. What's the deal? You good?
I'm fine, thanks, though.
Okay.
First class accommodations.
So nothing. Got it. All right.
All right. Once you guys have that situation under control, let's get Vesper and Engineering back online. If there's a some kind of medical emergency suite on here. Whoever has some medical background, if you guys can help them back
So
to
you telling
consciousness.
that to? Are you telling that
Silas.
to Cherokee or
say that-
Silas?
I'll say that to Silas.
Okay.
If I see that he's not doing anything in the moment.
I didn't hear what you said.
Silas, can you manage the care for Vesper and
Yeah.
engineering? And I'm gonna
Yeah.
go and consult with Grim.
Okay.
Burgess,
Before
go
that
with
happens, we're
Silas
gonna.
for some medical help. And if you need me, call me.
I think you got this
Silas.
covered, Sue.
Well, Silas doesn't have any medical training, but the Vesper is electronic, whereas the other person is person. That's why I suggested maybe sending a medic as well. Because either me or Burgess, because we're the only two medics.
Yeah, handle it. You got it.
Who? Yeah.
So, Burgess, thank you, good sir.
If Katrina's secure, yeah, handle their. It's most important that they're. We need a pilot. Vesper's the best we got. If Katrina's not here, it's unfortunate.
Silas, you were saying that you didn't want to drain Vesper's body of the power to try and find him. Can you tap into the ship's power and use some of it to help pull Vesper back to his body?
Yeah, if I can use the power from the ship, then I should be able to find him.
I'll stand guard here while you guys work on the two of them.
So Skip and Burgess and Katrina, tell me the situation. Describe where you guys are in space. What are you doing? And or what would people see? What's the general mood, etc.?
I guess I would have sat her down, and I'm probably just standing maybe 3 feet away from her and standing at attention, watching the whole room, basically. Kind of like I was doing in the La Resistance cave we were in.
I'm gonna say that Katrina probably would have either taken off her helmet before she got there, or they probably would have taken off her helmet. Excuse me. But if you see for those who are actually paying attention to Katrina, she's sitting there with her eyes closed and a big smirk on her face, looking rather smug with herself.
Hey, Skip, you know where the airlock is, right?
Right now, it's just the side of the ship, so yeah.
Cool. Let's keep that in mind. I'm gonna go check in with Captain Dobby.
Okay, what about you, Burgess?
I'm next to Skip.
Okay. And Silas?
I'm gonna try to find Vesper. I'm gonna use my hacking tool to plug in.
I'm gonna use a pip and go with Silas because we need a medic to help the person.
Okay. Okay.
If Burgess stays, then I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
Okay. So you don't need to spend a pip because you can just turn around and see that Burgess is not doing anything.
Okay. I didn't know if that was cool, so I was just like, I figured I would go ahead and use the currency if I needed to.
Yep. Yeah. So the action is on you two. Describe what this is. Tell us what's up.
Oh, wait, real quick before, as you start to turn around and head towards I'll look at Lieutenant Dole has a bar through his side. We had to cut off each end. It is stable, but he's stable, but he's not conscious. It'll be a little bit to to help him.
Okay. Good work. I'm thinking this has got some pretty high class med bay stuff going on, so I'll see what I can do. And if anything, we'll just stabilize him until we can get him somewhere that if there's something can be done. So yeah, good job.
Thank you, sir.
You ready, Silas? I'm off we fuck.
All right. Again, action is on you guys. You're telling us what's happening and how you're doing it.
So
and where he is and all that good stuff.
So I'm gonna walk over to Vesper and I'm gonna plug my hacking tool into him and then take the cord from the end of it and plug it into the nearest computer.
So on the ship, you've got the front of the ship, which is where the cockpit and all that stuff is. The back of the ship is where the engine room is, and basically it's a big wall, a computer interface, and the thrum of the thrusters when they're on. They're not on. Actually, no, the thrusters are not on, but the engine is on because the ship is whirring up. You've got sort of a main thoroughfare in the fuselage. So think of an airplane, right? Think of a jumbo jet, like Austin Powers' jumbo jet. Okay, you're on like someone's spacefaring jumbo jet. That's kind of what it looks like, except smaller. There's 4 rooms. There's 2 cryopods in each, and in those rooms, a big table with like a fruit basket and a stripper pole, and various bits and pieces for partying. Okay, there's all kinds of paraphernalia, which we have not yet described, which means you guys can describe what's in there. I want to say in one of them was a rocket launcher, or I should say an RPG. I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
So
There were 2 phasers.
You got a playground here to build what is in this ship. Is there a med bay? I don't know. Sure. Great. Where is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
My thought is like if you're gonna have like highfalutin people on this high-end party ship, you're gonna need like actual medical staff when they overdose or whatever the fuck happens.
Well, half of the med bay is just the drunk IV bags that they have in Vegas. So it's
yeah, just hangover.
yeah.
Called banana bags.
Yeah.
Banana bags. I have never heard of this. Never been to Vegas. All right. I'm into that.
So we're walking through the main room, which is like that party room you were describing with the stripper pole and all that stuff. Like there's like literally drugs everywhere, and the back wall is just dicks, like all dicks, different sizes, shapes, colors.
You forgot about the fountain.
Oh yes,
that's a dick.
Yeah. And there's like a bird bath in the other corner that's like a vagina.
Yeah, the aptly named D's nuts.
Yeah.
There's birds in this. They're like peacocks, so it's weirder. I think they climb up onto the.
Yeah, peacocks are mean.
Oh, that makes it even.
I'm trying to draw this map, and this is hilarious. I'm like, dick
there be
wall.
a trap door in this in true fashion?
Yeah. Because I mean, he is a big 007 fan, so
yeah.
We'll find the back door.
Wall. Yeah. So I love this. So there's gonna be a little downstairs because it's a spaceship. So there's a little rung ladder that goes down. Basically, the first part you're gonna have the 4 rooms, and each one had their little suites. There's 2 cryopods in each. There's the table, and they're like these intimate party rooms. This main thoroughfare, there's drugs, paraphernalia, clothes, piled up, all sorts of stuff. Boxes of Domino's pizza. Whatever. They have that in space. It's fine.
Yeah, totally fine.
Rung down, so it's gonna have 2 levels. What's on the bottom?
At some point, there would be an engine/mechanical room.
So that's where the engine room is. Okay.
Is this like a T hallway we're looking at here? Like one side's the engineering.
No.
And is there any?
Oh, I see
is
what you're
there
saying. You mean
is
on
there
the
any
dummy.
like?
Yeah, I
Is there
think
any?
it could be a little like area where like over here is the engineering stuff and like repair shit, and then over here is
Yeah, the repair shit, but for bodies.
yeah.
Okay, so you want that the length of the fuselage, or do you want the engine room in the back and then something out this way?
Yes, the last one. Because it makes sense that the engine room would be in the back of the ship. And
Okay.
Okay, pause though. Would you, if you were having a medical emergency, would you want some damn mechanic to run past your medical emergency and potentially fuck stuff up to get to the engine, to get all that shit?
That's a fair point.
So that's a good point. So we'll say the med bay is on the top at the back, and the engine room is on the bottom at the back.
Okay.
So they're stacked, is the idea. Does that make sense?
Yes, makes perfect sense.
Now, in typical player fashion, I completely expect you guys to leave this ship and never use it. Okay? It's never going to be thought of ever again after this moment. But God damn it, we're going to figure out what's on this ship.
Is there any
Get me off, Scotty.
RI or machine intelligence?
You have not checked.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
was planning on doing that whenever I was doing the Vesper thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when we got to the med bay, I was going to say we were going to do an inventory in the med bay, see what we've got.
Okay. So you're aware the med bay door is like right in the center, okay? And on either side, on one side, are a bunch of strap-on dildos, apparently. A dick wall. And the other is like, what's on the other side of this wall?
I contributed
the
to
med bay wall.
Yeah. I mean, that it would be very convenient to overdose and then go just like fall straight into the Narcan.
The other wall's just full of Narcan. It's like, you know, like little, like when you go into like an old guy's garage and he's got like that weird, like particle board with the holes in it, and it's got like the little hooks, but it's just all Narcan on the hooks, all across the wall.
All right.
And whatever the other one is, I can't think of the other one. Fentanyl test strips.
because fentanyl is still a problem.
It's still a problem, baby.
All right, so you have your engine room. This is for all of you, right? You got your engine room down below. You've got the rest of the fuselage. What else is down there?
Is there a trap door?
Sure. We'll say that if you go down the rung, there's the engine room, and there's just a wall, like that where the rest of the ship would be. It's just a wall, and it looks like it's like a brick wall.
No. I was gonna say if there's
it's a bookcase. It's a bookcase right there.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny you say that because I think it should be a wall that's painted to look like a bookcase. A lot of people have seen these books, but they don't quite. Well, they've heard of books, but they haven't quite seen them in person. They think they're like, they're like blocks of wood, but that somehow words were printed on them, but they don't really figure how it works, right? They don't know. But I mean, they've seen walls that are like painted as books that are. And they've heard it's like a library, but
that's actually incredible. That you get a narrative point for that. That's really good.
Oh, yeah.
Because it would be having books is so antiquated. Like that'd be like you go in, you have like muskets or something, or you know, like a sailing ship from 100, 200 years ago.
A galleon.
So funny.
A galleon, yeah. You got a galleon. You want to come out on the boat and fish? It's a galleon.
Trap door, though. If it was me, the armory is going on the other side.
Going to be behind the book.
The weird bookcase door, you know.
It's a luxury yacht.
Yes.
Luxury yacht. It's got everything.
Katrina, how do we open the door?
What? How do you open what door? Oh, I see.
The secret bookcase door. The painting. That's not a bookcase, but the illusion of a bookcase.
Painting. It's not even books.
You let's see here. You open it by there's one particular book that has a really raunchy title on it. And now you guys can make that one up on if you want.
Trusty butts. How about that?
But what you have to do, trusty butts. How about someone with an O, like someone with a
crusty butts.
Crusty butts.
Trusty O's.
They appreciate the synergy. They'll pay a little extra for that once they get paid.
Crusty butts. Open sesame. I don't know.
Okay, yeah, I get that. Okay, so open sesame, where the O is big enough you'd stick your finger through the hole of the O in order to open up the bookcase.
That's funny.
But it's not going to be your finger that you stick in there.
Oh wait! It was
He laughed. He laughed on that.
Oh, no, guys! One of the dildos on the wall is the key.
Wait! That's a good idea. I got something better. Because it's small enough, right? It's small enough. It's a relatively small hole. That's actually how Confuse Us, used to open it up because his dick was small enough. He had a micro penis, so he stuck it in the hole of the O.
So as you find on the on the wall, a micro penis strap-on, laden in gold. It says "Confuse Us" around it.
Listen, I've seen Indiana Jones. We need to find the one that's wood. Don't trust the shiny one, okay?
Right, your eyeballs will melt out of your head if you put that strap-on on.
I feel like one that's that small that's made out of wood would snap really easily. So
fair, yeah. You didn't want to snap it off, so anyhow.
Soupy said, "Y'all horny tonight." Right.
What precisely are you doing?
Well, this is what happens when I open it up. Right, and what is in the armor, we don't know because we haven't yet stuck it in and gotten in there. Okay. So, still in the montage as you guys are doing your bits and pieces. Silas, you and Cherokee have taken Vesper into the med bay. Vesper and Dole are both unconscious.
Dole, thank you. So I'm gonna put Dole on one of the tables.
I'm gonna put Vesper on one of the tables closest to the computer area so that I can mess with that.
Cool.
Yep.
All right. So now that we've got them settled, I think we need to do an inventory because I'm not really sure what kind of medical attention I can give until we have an idea of what tools we can work with. I do have a cauterizer in my bag for Vesper.
I need to plug Vesper in first because at least while we're doing this, if there's any connection left and he can find his own way back, we can let him have the chance to do that before I go in and intervene and potentially get more power from the ship as well. So
I dig it.
He's dead. He needs to charge.
So let's drop into the dread. What do you each bid for your various tasks?
So I'm gonna use field improv. It's my medic ability to kind of see what I can piece together to fix these two. I am gonna pull out my cauterizer out of my bag, just like it's like a fucking scanner, but it's just hot laser to close wounds.
Okay. So as you bid that, you start looking around for what your material are. Excuse me. And meanwhile, whipping out your scanner, you're starting to do some scan. We'll say on Dole first, and we'll get to that here in a moment. Silas, what are you bidding?
I am gonna bid Steady Hand to just get the hacking tool connected to the internet and see if I can get him pointed in the right direction.
Okay. All right. As you both start doing that, we're gonna slide over to the fuselage where Katrina, Burgess, and Skip are. And after this part, we'll go to the scene with Dolby, as Dolby has gone off to talk to Captain Grimm, who's in the cockpit with Lieutenant Commander Coolme. So, back with Katrina and you two What are you guys doing?
I am standing guard. So that's what I was told to do. Unless something happens, I'm just sitting here ready to react.
I'm gonna pipe in the radio out of nowhere and be like, "Hey, don't be a dick to Katrina. Like, she's not a prisoner of war. If she wants food or water, make it happen." You know what I mean?
Sir, yes, sir.
Cool.
Since we're in the dread now,
Yep.
I'll bid unknown artifact to activate Haywire, which uses my unknown artifact to basically just cause whatever to break electronic that I can.
Okay. Tell me how this is working. Or how you
The
wish to do
unknown
it.
artifact.
Right. Because right now you're not connected to the ship.
Well, the unknown artifact is like, I don't know, what are you going to call it? Kind of like pseudo-theurgy. So just kind of, let's say it uses Bluetooth or whatever to connect to anything around it and just like cause power surges and just like find any weak point in the system at all that would be breakable, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense. Okay, so it uses a short field frequency to search for vulnerabilities. So it has to be able to connect to something, unless it's doing it literally like physically, like overcharging or shorting stuff out. It sounds more like whatever operating systems and such are going on that's wireless. It would be trying to connect to and then use known exploits to, exploit them and gain access. So that's going to take a little time. It won't be immediate unless their password is like default or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or something.
In that regard, I'd say you're probably right on the overcharging, because that's how I've been using it. Like, it's basically just like creating a high energy field that is over charging whatever's around it.
So you're not hacking in. You're just
no, just cause like kind of like a lightning bolt to a surge protector.
Short-range EMP
that
is
kind
what
of
it
thing.
sounds like.
Okay. Like a static discharge.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, since we're building this, what is this artifact? I feel like you've used it before. I know you've used your neural link before, but
yeah, the unknown artifact is literally just that. It's a random piece of alien of tech that Katrina found when she was out on a job one time. That she went to pick it up and it strapped itself to her arm, and she doesn't really even know how to get it off.
Okay, what does it look like?
I drew it like years ago. Oh, here we go. The picture is still there. So underneath her armor, it basically looks like that.
Okay, so it's a bracelet.
Yeah.
And you don't know what it does, right?
I mean, other than she knows that she can, will it to break things. No, she doesn't really know what it does.
Good. Then I'm gonna decide what it does.
That's fair enough.
What its true purpose is.
Is this something you do without moving, or do you?
I know we're getting to that.
Okay, just checking.
Unknown artifact. Okay. It's almost definitely going to be Krisk. Which Krisk is. I'm not going to tell you what it is. You have to look it up in the source book.
Mm-hmm.
It is in the source book, and also for anyone in the chat, there are links to the Into Space source book if you want to know more about the lore of this world. Okay. Give me just a second.
Who was our sponsor again tonight? Hulker?
Crusty Buttholes.
Crusty
a band out of Winesburg, Ohio called the Crusted Butts.
Oh, Crusty Butts, right.
Yeah.
And their sister location, Dingleberries.
But they still haven't paid yet? Is that what you're telling me?
No, but they're gonna pay so like
on the back end. On the back end.
Yeah, on the back end of like a basement show they got coming up. I mean, and they acquired some musical instruments. They got to find a pawn shop that they can maybe like sell one or two. That's another source of income that they could pay us out of. Yeah. So crusted butts, they're gonna pay.
Good.
And for dingleberries, we just got to hang in there. They'll pay out.
God, oh my God. All right, so you both get pips, and then you're not getting anything else for that. Right. So Katrina, since the action is on you, since you're bidding unknown artifact, this piece of ninja gear you have, and sort of wantonly just attempting to short circuit through a high-end static charge things around you. We'll say that this thing typically it will first do the closest thing, okay? And when you've used it before, there's usually an arc of energy from it. So it does the closest thing, and second, it will favor the more high energy type things. It's not always destructive, but for things like, your cell phone, it'll blow it up. It will easily overload certain things. Did you use this on the H2O plant? Is that what you used in the bar? The unknown artifact?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So it can absolutely short out, like blow fuses and that kind of thing. It doesn't like disintegrate buildings or whatever yet. So roll your chaos die. So this thing definitely has a chaos die. We'll call it a D6. Do not roll a 1. Oh, nice. So that's a +1. We're gonna have to throw down. So it'll be your action die D10, and we'll say mind. Could be brawn. If you go brawn, then essentially it is going to be a more powerful charge. But because it's more powerful, you have to resist the charge in your own body. If you go mind, then it's going to be a lower threshold to affect the systems. But it'll deal less damage.
I'll go mind.
Okay. So the threshold to affect this, it's going to be the engines, or actually, let me think. It'd be the engines or the med bay. The engines are actually a little further away. Med bay is up top. So we'll have you roll first, and then we'll decide which one it goes for. Threshold is going to be. You're incredibly close. We're gonna say it's threshold 3.
So
there's no
I have
shield.
3 on the
none
dice.
of that shit.
I have 3. I have 3 successes on the dice, including my chaos die. Plus,
Okay.
it has a +2 on it, so that's 5.
All right, so you get a narrative point. Let's see.
And I'll use that narrative point since I have them too high anyway. To say that it does go for the engines, if that's okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. Sure. You get the narrative point, you can spend that. Yes, absolutely. As you see, you actually feel the thrum, the charge build up within the artifact as all your hair, on your body stands on end. You felt this before. This is a little bit different with that chaos die of a 6. You actually feel sort of a pain, an electric pain, like voltage in your arm. And as it releases, just to go with the spirit of the evening, as it climaxes, Skip and Burgess, a white bolt of what looks like lightning. It doesn't shoot off from Katrina. It just kind of manifests like a bad CGI. Just It's connected from Katrina's arm. At first, it hits the med bay, plays off of it like one of those, like, what are those things called? The 1980s style. It's the ball that has
plasma balls. They're just plasma.
Plasma ball. Yeah, it's plasma. As it plays, the plasma plays on the med bay. Silas and Cherokee Sue, the lights flicker, boop, 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 but the systems don't go down as the plasma arcs and goes through the ship into the engine and makes that sound, a big na sound. Katrina, roll a d6 plus 1. And since you beat it by 2, you get an extra 2. So a d6 plus 3. And that's the amount of damage you deal directly to the engines.
That's going to be a total of
The
7
engines
damage.
are... I'm sorry?
7.
The engines are plated. They are armored, of course. They always are. But that is 7 damage straight up. Dolby, are you taking track of what the stats are on the ship? Or someone else?
I don't think I have the stats of the ship.
Did anybody
points-wise.
take down any stats?
I don't think
I may not
I
have
don't
given
remember
them to
what
you.
the rundowns
I don't think we
was. I don't
actually
remember the
got
HP on
them.
it.
Okay. Good.
But if somebody else wants to,
In that case,
that would be helpful.
In that case, I didn't screw it up.
I mean, it's a medium. What was it? A dart?
It's actually a light ship.
It's a light ship. Well, medium sized.
It is a freighter.
Yeah.
It is a freighter, but it's built for speed, not
Sure.
military stuff.
Yeah, let's
it
mess
will
it
be
up.
scale. Let me look. Where's my scale? I believe it's scale 1. Yeah, it is a scale 1 ship. So whoever wants to write this down to keep track of your ship. Otherwise, I'll just
Anybody
make
wanna
it up
do
as we
that?
go.
Typing it. I'll type it out.
Oh, you got it.
Okay,
Alright,
cool.
thanks.
Miles is also right now.
So it is a medium ship. It is scale 1. It'll have light armor, upgraded engines. Shield classification, because it's light, means that it does 2d4. So when the shields are on, you roll 2d4, you absorb that amount of damage. Wound level, so you can just put WL or whatever you want, is 1. I'm just going to give you all this stuff right now. To the people in the chat, bear with us.
BDSM spaceship party. That's happening. We got electricity. We got dildos. I mean, it's all. We're in these nuts. It's all happening right
Just
here,
up in these
right
nuts.
now.
A safe word would be
Like,
nice now.
bar at the back with like caramelized nuts.
Party in the front, party in the back. Hey, hell, there's a party.
It's like there's silence while I'm looking. The moment I'm like, I found it. Read the room. All right. So the hull integrity, you can call it vitality, hit points, whatever you want, for the ship is 14. Emplacements is 2. Vital spots 1. And fuel cells 15. We'll see if we actually use the fuel cells. This is splat material, meaning for into space, the setting. I'm working out some of the mechanics anyway, which is kind of what you guys are doing. We're play testing a little bit here. I'm not sure if we'll go with fuel cells, if we'll go with charges or whatever we want, uses, that type of stuff. So that is basically your ship. Vital spots. So what vital spot means is it goes directly through the wound level. Let me unpack what all of that means mechanically. On a ship, if you lose all of the vitality, the ship blows up. Okay? The thing is, ships that are larger or built in a certain way have what's called vital spots. So the idea is you have 14 vitality, hull integrity in the ship. So if you get attacked, you reduce that hull integrity. But if you're not hitting a vital spot, it doesn't go to your real hull integrity. It goes towards your wound levels. So if you got 1, essentially it means you have 28 hit points, 28 hull integrity. Does it make sense? You got 14. If you're going to the wound levels, you're hitting like the phantom hull integrity. If you're hitting the vital spot. What the fuck?
I don't know.
I hate you. You know what? Fuck you. Never mind. I'm not explaining anymore. You hear, it goes directly into your vital spot. So whoever is taking the shit down, 14 minus 7, your ship is at 7 hit points.
Damn.
Good.
Hold on 1 second.
As the engines are severely damaged.
So we took 7 damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. I'm not going to explain anymore because whatever. Never mind.
At this point, I envision.
One thing I want to say, if I can I also use another narrative point to say that in the course of this energy discharging from me, it also screwed up my cuffs.
I'll tell you this. Typically, you can only drop 1 narrative point on the turn.
Okay, that's fair. Gotcha. No worries. Actually, while I'm thinking about it though, because I used the montage to create another ability, and you can tell me if I need to scrap this or if it's completely broken. But I called it Chaotic Presence.
Go on.
And the idea
behind it is... Are you just building a way to get out of this?
No. I feel like
what you're actually doing.
I feel like it's useful for mercenary work, particularly if you're like a 1-person mercenary. But point being, the idea behind it is that when I activate it, everyone in a radius as determined by you.
I call it Houdini. I just get out of cuffs. And then I appear 30 feet away behind a wall. How about that? Because that could be useful in everyday life. No. I'll say that you can absolutely have a new ability, but one of the precepts of gaining an advancement in the montage is it can't be like, hey, right now. Right? Like that. Okay. If you didn't have it at the start of the game, you just had it because you knew the situation you were in and you're exploiting it now. In the next montage, I should say after the next montage, yes, you could use that, but okay. I don't know. It's extremely convenient. I am interested in knowing. So what does it do? Because I interrupted.
The idea behind it is that basically anyone within a reasonable radius, as determined by you, has an extra chaos die to their next action.
No. Okay. No. That is overpowered as fuck. That said, look in the core book because there are a couple abilities that already do something like it. It's not that you can't have that kind of thing. It's that it needs to be balanced. So just wantonly being like, hey, now you have a chaos die, that is extremely powerful. Look at Magicka. Specifically, I want to say, I think it's a witch. so a rune magicka, I'm pretty sure, or the scroll of runes, and look at the Codex of Mastery. There's probably something in there, and see how it's built, and then you can tailor your ability towards that, and that would work. I'll say this too: if you have an ability that does that, the upgrades will not just give you bonuses the way they normally do. So follow how those abilities are built.
Okay.
So you could have this ability, but it's not going to just plant chaos die on them. That would have to be like the upgrades or something along those lines.
Okay.
That's Katrina's turn. We're in the dread. Burgess, Skip, actions on you.
At
as
this
well
point, I
Yeah.
think it's fair. I think it's fair that the ship itself go into what Star Trek: The Next Generation would characterize as a red alert. You know, that typical scene where an alarm goes off and everyone's aware that something's up.
you going to drop a narrative point for that to happen?
Yes.
Or do you want to do a pip to say that there is such a system?
I will.
The tyranny of choice.
I will drop a narrative point.
Okay, so the narrative point says, that's hilarious. Jazzy's like, narrative point, narrative point, narrative point.
I was saying Pip is what's funny because that way it happened in the past. Yeah, but I'm not going to make your choice for you. It'll work.
The pip would actually be something a little different. The pip would say, did the damage short circuit the alarm?
Got you.
The narrative point
the alarm
says
would already
the
be
alarm
in
goes off.
place. Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Right.
I dig it.
Okay. Warning lights light up, and you hear this, whoa! Some system is messed up. We will continue with Burgess and Skip Trace. So Burgess, you drop a narrative point. Skip.
I'm going to bid my motto, yes, sir, and use the butt of my gun to try to knock Katrina out.
Katrina, are you resisting this?
Yeah.
Okay. Katrina, you've got brawn. You've also got your grace. I will say you're cuffed, ergo, or you are restrained. Ergo, the threshold to dodge is going to be higher than the threshold to resist getting hit in the face. So you choose which one you want to do. Go ahead and throw down and all that good stuff. You don't have to bid because you're defending.
It'll be grace just because my my brawn is crap.
Okay. Skip, go ahead and throw down, do your stuff. Neither of you tell me what you rolled unless you want the other one to know. The way we're going to do this PvP, you got to decide all the stuff that you do. And then we're going to compare numbers. So there's not going to be tit for tat. Otherwise, it'll go on forever. All right. As that is happening, as you guys are rolling, doing your stuff, making your decisions, remember, we don't give a shit why. We want to know what and how. Don't tell us why. Holy. Right, sorry. My phone just started playing like the Midnight Sonata or something. Or Moonlight Sonata. Cherokee Sue and Silas. You guys are in the med bay. The lights flickered. Wub, 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 wub. We'll say that the walls are opaque because one is a dick wall and one is a Narcan wall. There is the door that has the little porthole looking thing on it. I would say you didn't necessarily see anything. That's up to you guys. What are you all doing? Actions on you.
I'll be back. I gotta go to the bathroom real quick.
So I'm going to carterize the wounds on Vesper so that he's more stable, so that when he comes back to his meat suit, he's not going to die.
I'm gonna strap
Okay.
Vesper down first because it seems like shit's gonna happen, and I don't want him to just yeet off of the table.
So do that before I.
Smart. Smart.
Yeah.
Smart. What are you guys bidding to do this stuff?
I was using field improv to do my medicing thing.
So you are doing that. So you're actually doing the medical procedure, Cherokee. You're not actually looking for the inventory yet.
Right, because like if we're gonna plug in, because like just to clarify, like when we came in, to plug in Vesper, like he needs to be stable. So it's like we want to take care of that first, and then we can worry about.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. That's all the why. Great. I love it. You're like waiting there with this cauterized thing. As Silas, you do what?
I'm gonna use where was it? Weathered Soldier to strap Vesper in, and I'm also gonna take a moment and secure the USB too with a little Velcro. So it doesn't come out.
I love it. Okay. As Silas, with your previous bid, you see that the connection is stable, and what you can see, I mean, you have to interpret it, with numbers and zeros and signal strength and such. It seems that Vesper has connected to wherever he is, and perhaps there's some transfer occurring, but the signal strength went up, which means there is a connection. You can assume it's Vesper. I mean, it's not like it has a name on it, right? You can trace it. You can trace it because you were doing this before. It is to the Jazzi Cabbage. No, I'm kidding. It's to Johnny 25. So what you can gather is Vesper's, at least part of his consciousness, was in Johnny 25 at the time of being disconnected. Because of your bid, your previous bid, you can gather this. Part of Vesper was likely lost, so he split. Wherever he was, that's where he is. So, there's the cool mint, which he was likely attached to. Now you know maybe his speaking and stuff was in Johnny 25. What you don't know, what the players know, and what Dolby may know, is he was also talking to the Clad. So he's in 3 places. And then his lower brain function is working on his body right now. So you're like gathering the Horcruxes.
Yeah, cool. Okay.
As that feed starts going into his body, as he's, kind of shaking and stuff against the restraints, and his eyes are fluttering, he kind of makes this groan sound as Cherokee, you give him the goodness. Cauterizing the wounds. Let's roll a D4 +1, and we'll say that heals up some of the wounds that he has.
Triangle.
He's
4.
actually really, really messed up. 4?
Yeah.
Okay. You can tell he's still wounded. His flesh is all messed up. He's got burns and such. He's more worse for the wear than you would like him to be, but he's not on death's door. All right. Before we get to, we'll wait on Katrina to come back. Dolby, you have walked into the cockpit. It closes behind you. You see Coolme busying herself getting the ship ready. This lovely hum of D's nuts is coming to synchronicity. Let me just pull out a big word like that. Captain Grimm is standing there, short in stature, wide, strong, otherwise musculature, as he has his hands behind his back. He's looking out the cockpit window, and there's this hollow feed that he's catching himself up on. It looks like they're sniffing P&B communique. The alarm has not gone down
Good.
or gone off yet.
Grim, sir.
He turns. Captain.
Should we wait for the storm? Or should we? Do you know if that Cobalt ship is taken off or the?
He looks over at Cool Me as she, sensing what he's saying, pulls up a little map. You see the city holographically appear. It's not in real time. It's glitchy and such as, well, you don't know why. And the computer sort of scanning perhaps. As Kulmi says, it looks like the clad ship has lifted off, but it's still within the shield.
Yeah.
Within
let's work this out real quick because
the dome.
The dome. We need. This seems like a right now problem. If this ore gets back to the Axminster, it is not good for the SSA. So we need to either end this ship or take it. I think we should try to take it because we need the resources back in the Sol system and to get that idea started again. And if it has as much cobalt on it as I think, it taking off in this weather could actually destroy the entire city because that stuff is very explosive. So I'm not sure what we should do with it. This is probably Navy stuff, but I think you should know that ship is clad and that they have our resources. And maybe if we can get Moriarty to help us.
As Grim kind of nods, I think you're probably right, Captain. Thankfully, Moriarty is on the Defiant right now in Atmo. I don't think that they will let that clad ship leave, but we probably should communicate with them. Thing is, he kind of shares, for the first time you see a little bit of a wavering in maybe his confidence, just a tad bit. His eyes shift over to Cool Me and back to you. Thing is, not entirely certain that she hasn't been lied to by our enemies.
What if we say that Fuchsius is on board this ship? Because this is his ship. If we can get, if we can do maybe communication without picture or voice, we just send the codes and tell them that that they're clad traders and see what happens.
It's not a bad idea. Get to it, Captain.
Colmy, can you send a message to Moriarty saying what I said, which is we have Confucius.
You see her typing out.
Safe on this ship, and that we believe that Clad has infiltrated the ore ship, and it's not destined for the SSA.
She pauses and looks at you. Well, that is a clad ship, Captain.
Oh, so Moriarty would know this. Call me.
Well, she would definitely know that the clad ship. Yeah.
Well,
they're the ones that usually pick up at least part of the cobalt.
Grim, how do we know? How can we get Moriarty on our side?
I believe that she will stay true to her loyalties. She'll stay true to me. She wasn't a part of imprisoning me. You see him kind of his eyes shift. As far as I know, that was Confucius and Axel.
Sure. Well, if you have a way of communicating with her, can I bid Grim to
you wanna
communicate
so
with
Kulmi is typing out a message What are you bidding?
Well, can I bid Grim himself to know his soldier?
You can do
to
it.
Talk to talk to Moriarty on a level in which they are simpatico.
Okay, so I will say this. This is a situation where, because you as a player don't really know, like, the situation.
Yeah, I don't know the situation.
A decision could be exactly the right decision.
Or it could
also be exactly the wrong, and you won't be able to retcon it.
Yeah, no, I
mean, you'll be able to
that.
in little ways, but if you do one thing, you're sticking with it.
I understand that. Well, I mean, it's we got to take some risk, Grim. We are down, and stuff is happening. Unless you think we should just pause and retake the surface.
We need to act. What are you bidding to get Grim to send this message?
Grim, I am going to bid unscathed, as I have been pretty unscathed for it's a gift that I have. In turmoil,
I live, but everybody else dies.
And in turmoil, and I want the people on this ship to survive, and I want Grim to survive, and I want to hit him at the heart. I want to say, look, we are strangers on this planet. You know what went down.
Hold on.
So,
now hold on.
Yeah.
No.
You go ahead.
If Grim's saying it, then Grim's saying it. If Dolby's saying it, then Dolby says it.
I'm just saying this to encourage. I'm saying this to Grim.
Oh, sure. Go on.
Grim, you know this planet. You know why you're here. You know where Moriarty is, and this whole situation is going to be impossible if she's not on our side. So if you can find it and just, I know it's been tough last 5 years, but you're out now, and everything's new, and we have this moment. And if we don't take the moment now, we could lose this planet. So you got to rally the troops, man.
As you see, Captain Grim is, there's something behind his eyes. You haven't gotten to know him very well, but you know that he's obviously very strategic, as your speech seems to sway him. He walks over to the comms and dismisses the message that Coolme was sending, so that he can talk directly to Moriarty. All right. This will be a throwdown for Dolby. So you've bid Captain Grim. Swing. He is a very charismatic dude. He's going to be giving you a D12.
Ooh.
And considering his history, it's a big deal. So it'd be your action die, and mind would be pretty strategic. You could use wits as well, thinking quick on your feet.
I'll do mind. Not that I'm the most.
I will say this.
Person.
I'll say this, and then I'm gonna use the bathroom really quick.
Yeah.
As Grim opens the channel, and you see the bridge of the Defiant, which is very stereotypical SSA cruiser bridge. So just think of Star Trek. You used to have like, or a Romulan vessel. You'll see like the the captain's chair and a sort of circumference, a semicircle where various stations are. You see Sulu over there in the SSA uniform, people walking around and such. As a woman, she was a woman. She looks like she's in her 40s, 50s. Looks like a duster. So has the bearing of someone who grew up with gravity. You'd be intimately aware of Dolby, since you didn't. A little bit squatter, thicker bones. She looks tough. She is militant. She's tall, despite being a little bit, just athletic. Commanding, straight black hair, piercing blue eyes. And there's something in those eyes, a temperamental nature. Like, at any moment, they can get stormy. She looks like a woman of action. She turns, and upon seeing Captain Grimm, her jaws clench up. Grimm has her attention. You also note that Kulmi has moved herself out of the view of this. So you're in view, kind of behind, and Grimm is up front. Something crosses your mind, we'll say. Confucius is against the SSA, right? I mean, nominally, he's with the SSA, but he's really against the SSA. He's a tyrant.
Yep.
He put Grimm in jail. You guys are telling Moriarta that you just saved Confucius's life.
Oh,
and he's kind of still in charge.
Well,
that's what's going on right now.
No, I thought Comey hadn't sent the message yet.
She hasn't sent the message. That's the message you told her to send.
Yeah.
And now you're having Grimm.
Yeah. So what happened was Grimm interrupted her sending that message. Dolby was saying the wrong thing and then took a step back. I took a step back. And now I'm defaulting to what Dolby is saying, and I'm going to follow his story the best I can.
So
what
the whole
Grimm
thing
is
with
saying.
the Confucius stuff,
you're
not doing the Confucius thing at all anymore. This is just Grimm.
Over.
Awesome.
Yeah, just Grimm.
As they meet eyes. Okay. What did you throw down?
That's a great question. That is 5 successes with 2 flair.
All right. Get that flare. The threshold just for Moriarta is 8. Okay? However, that is lowered because of the situation that I described. The absolute chaos that's going on. The winds that are buffeting her ship as we speak. And the fact that the clad is here and they have all the cobalt. So I'm not going to NPC with myself. Okay? You got Moriarta and you got Grimm. They're going to have a conversation, but I'm not going to NPC with myself. This is weird sort of roleplay masturbation. I don't want to do that. The conversation is stern. As
I want to drop a narrative point.
Yes.
You do want to do that.
Oh. Ooh. Ooh.
Fine. I'm gonna pee. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Be right back. I have my headphones on. They're Bluetooth. I can hear you.
Yeah.
You guys talk amongst yourselves. You can. I don't want to take a break, but if you need to use the bathroom or something or whatever, do it. But talk amongst yourselves.
Sure.
Those of you that are here, you got a lot of situations going on, and very shortly, this communication is going to cut off. By the way, so
sure it is.
I'll be back in a couple minutes.
What's going on in Skip's head? Because I think Skip is the only person, and I guess Katrina, but what's going on with Skip and Katrina?
I don't. Skip is just trying to incapacitate her as quick as he can because he doesn't want to hurt her, but she did just attack the ship that we were on.
And is Burgess around?
No, he went to.
He took off.
Oh wait, like in the scene he's around.
Yeah.
But Hulker stepped out.
And Katrina what is going on in Katrina's head? Where is she in this moment?
Disable the ship and then wait for her backup.
Yeah.
That's basically it. Yeah.
But
She didn't want to start like an open fight in the middle of the crew in front of the ship. But if she can sabotage the ship and just wait out, the struggle or whatever.
Wait out the ongoing violence. I think,
yes.
Everybody's left the table. I think we do a break. Do you want to read us out?
Bill said he didn't want to.
Yeah. Well, I don't have anything in this moment. I got nothing. So,
well, I mean,
let's read us out and then we'll start again. It'll be fine.
Okay. Thank you guys for watching the first half of Into Space.
Into
Space.
Your cast tonight is me, Drizzle. You've got Ken, Andrea, Daniel, Jazzi Cabbage, Max. I said everybody right, and Bill.
Yeah, Drizzle. Bill,
as the Arbiter.
Archangel.
Yeah. Well, Archangel's not here tonight. So
right.
Thanks to the music, all lowercase letters, and Mr. Interrupt. Thanks to our Patreon people, Nostalgic, Natalia Cline, Tim Roberts, Daniel Hulker. Thanks to Couchfire Media for all the beautiful things you see. And thanks to Terrible Productions for whatever it is they do. Stick around with us. We'll take a short break and be back for the second part of Into Space.
Into Space.
Space.